How many times have you gotten motivated to do something and then you go hard for a couple of days and then you fall off the wagon again? Plenty, right? And you've always wondered, how do people that actually become successful go for so long and they just stay motivated? And I mean, the answer is pretty simple. When you get motivated, you look for short term motivation. They have long term motivation. You hear people talk about having a purpose, and it's along those lines. Short term motivation is like, oh, I've just seen this video. I want to change my life. That 3 a.m. motivation. You're scrolling through your phone at 3 a.m. and then you see something that just makes you want to change your life, and then you say, I'm gonna be up tomorrow. I'm gonna go hard on all my goals, and then a couple days later, you've inevitably fallen off the wagon. And what you need is long-term motivation. The people who do make it far, they just have something that keep them going. A purpose. I'll use myself as an example. For years I've been like this. I started being fascinated by self-improvement about probably like 5 years ago, right? But I'd always go hard for a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and then I'd stop, and then I'd do it again, and then I'd stop. Like, I eventually wanted to complete the self-improvement journey, but I just never found that long-term motivation. And last year, I think I might have told the story before, but I'm just gonna tell it for the sake of the point I'm trying to make. Last year, we graduated in 2019, all right, and then at the start of last year, I spoke with someone that I hadn't spoken to since our graduation. It had been about a year, and I sort of realized to myself, I was like, damn, like it's been a year, and the last time I spoke to this person, I had all these plans. I was gonna have done all of this. I was gonna get in shape. I was just gonna achieve a lot of my goals, and then I just had a vision of me at 30. We're having a reunion, a high school reunion, and I'm coming back and I'm seeing all these faces, and I just get hit with this feeling of dread. I think back 10 years ago, when I last saw these people, I had plans. I was gonna do so many things, and then I just carry on doing what I always do. I just ended up falling off the wagon, and that hit me like right here. It hit me in my chest so hard because I was like, yeah, I do not want to be in that position 10 years from now, because obviously a year is bad enough. You wasted another year, but at the point I just turned like 19, and I was just thinking it's very different when you're 30, because obviously when you're 30, if I carried on the path I was, most people at 30, they're in a job, probably getting ready to settle down and the likes, and it's a lot harder to make any significant changes to the trajectory of your life. And I was like, I will not get away with this again if that happens to me until I'm 30. So that kept me going for like a long time. I've obviously been struggling with discipline a lot this year, and I've kind of lost my purpose, but I'm trying to find that again. But that properly kept me going the whole of last year into this year, and I've sort of carried on the momentum in terms of just keeping on my self improvement journey, dragging myself through it. But that really kept me going. Because that had me here. Like, I didn't even need to wake up and think about, why am I doing this today. It was clear as daylight. Like, I do not want to be at 30 having that same feeling I had, which is, I've wasted all this time. And that you need something like that. You need long-term motivation. I was watching a podcast by Iman Gaji. I don't know if you know him, but I learned about him through Hamza. He's the 22-year-old millionaire, multimillionaire, and he was basically speaking about how, in order to get to that level of success, you need to be sick in the head. Like, you need to have some insecurity you're trying to compensate for, right? And that's what keeps you pushing that hard, because you're going to face so many obstacles, and you need something that's going to keep you going. I know it's the common term is your purpose. I'm calling it long-term motivation, because it's a lot easier for you to distinguish what the problem is. When you're finding that short-term motivation, it's, oh, I've just seen this video, or I'm getting shredded for the summer, or whatever. That it doesn't keep you going. It really doesn't. You need something deep-seated. That is like, even when you're feeling low or whatever, that feeling is always there. Because with motivation, the conditions need to be perfect. You need to have a certain circumstance that's got you pushing. But with long-term motivation, it's just always there. And